Yeah, no, fine. So basically, aesthetics had been being seen as many times more concerned with fine arts and not with engineering and all that. What I feel is it need not be a monopoly of the fine arts, because aesthetic in a deep sense is everywhere, and that's what we would like to explore. In fact, if you see somebody like Herbert Simon, who is a computer scientist, what he says, the aesthetic of natural science and mathematics is one with the aesthetics of music and painting. Both inherit the discovery of a partially concealed pattern. What he says is there is the same complexity of things when you create, whether in mathematics or music, and comparatively he draws in very number of comparisons. And initially, interestingly, he makes this word partially concealed pattern. This is something very interesting for us. So design actually tries to harness the aesthetics, because this is something which we have to see, because design is very much art or inherits a lot from the art, but it also tries to harness the aesthetics to solve complex problems. See, it's one thing is we see at only visual or simplified problems, but there are complex problems which needs to be solved in industrial design, visual communication, craft, CAD. We saw in the morning the drug design. It can be many things, animation management. It can go into any area. In each, there is somewhere, how does aesthetics take this into account as a process of design? Let's see it. Often an aesthetic perception of a problem brings order to a complex confused state of logical analysis. See, we have a lot of analysis processes. We do analyze of various kinds, but somehow we get an aesthetic perception which suddenly makes it simple. This is something in each area we develop over a period. So every specialist, whether it's the textile designer or architect, they know it. Somehow they get the grasp of it, and that is the starting point when all the logical things start falling in order. In fact, aesthetics leads what I think. I will give a small example. See, I was to design a boiler long back. You see the top two ducts which are holding on. Actually, the management posed the problem because right side you see this control panel that was not properly designed. They just came for that. So when they start, I felt, why these two ducts? They're looking too ugly. There should be flow of air. That was for hot air. A hot air should go into that. So then I said, can it be, more flowing? Then I started investigating the problems. When I went to engineers, they were worried about the three joints which were coming. You can see that. And what was the concept? Hot air in the boiler was to be taken, and it was very simple. Common sense was used. Air should come from both ends. Then I talked with my friends, engineers, and all that. They said, no, it's not a problem. We can put a duct and we can take hot air from one side. So that is how I increased the size one side. It reduces, improved the shape, but it reduced one part completely gone. Joints became from 2 to 1. So it became much simpler. Of course, the additional is the control panel, which was given form. So when you do a project, there are many levels you take. I'm just presenting some level where you see it, as a form, and then you grasp the problems and put into a form. This is something what you learn in each field. The simple phone which we designed for Sam Petroda, when we designed it was a 6 weeks we had to do completely where there was nothing. And in fact, he did not like the look of it so much, but he liked the feel of it. So he said, no, I will go for it. So sometimes aesthetic is not only looks, but also ergonomics, feel, how do you feel and all that. Then this is another project, electronic voting machine, where we did. Here we had to define security completely in a redefining the security, because it was earlier a steel box. So people believed that that gives the safety, but actually safety is not anything in that, but in terms of whether it's in the public, how many times it is locked, or this becomes the safety. And we took a bold step that using a plastics. Otherwise, it was not so easy to make plastic at that time acceptable. So we said, look, this is engineering plastic. Otherwise, it was all identified with buckets and all that. How can you use in a product like this? But it has been very successful, and of course, it took 10 years for political and other reasons after we designed to came into the use. But today, it has saved so much money to the nation. Actually, all money is recovered long back, and it goes. I think the aesthetics brings from steel box to secure digital system. No, our argument was, look, the villager is already used to TV. So it is not that because the villagers, if they are doing it, they need steel or things like that. Because if person comes with a gun, whether it is a steel box or this thing, nothing much can be done in terms of protecting it. But electronics can protect in some sense all what is cannot be done at the same time and things like that. Which gave the idea to make that button instead of circular, it became a elliptical. Then I will talk few ideas like in bamboo craft design where we have been working. There is a move, craft design can move from tradition to postmodern aesthetics. See, we have a traditional craft which is beautiful and very intricate, but then we can jump the modern stage and completely go into postmodern where it can accommodate that complexity. I think this is something which I have been trying, so it also fits into our students' things and social objectives. We have repositioned crafts to create a paradigm shift in the society. When this woman came, what you see, she was trying to use a machine. Immediately men came and said, no, we will do, Oh, usko nahi aata. I said, no, nothing doing. She can do what you can do. There is no problem. And it brings a change. I think a change of consciousness is coming. Somewhere it is linked to the whole dealing with the aesthetics and what we are seeing. So the new tools and techniques can produce new forms and new positioning. And I do run an elective called Craft Creativity in Postmodernism, which fits into a postgraduate program course. Otherwise, craft becomes just like a hobby. I just learn and leave. I think we need to see much more in craft than that. It is like craft can develop a cognitive abilities at all ages. Symmetry can be learned experientially. So we have been trying with children all these things, and it can go deeper into our consciousness. So now question is, do we have methods of training to develop aesthetic minds? We do have, many people have already presented many things which are coming out. Framing unusual problems, use of generative metaphors, emphasis on feelings and reflection to break the conceptual envelopes, creating conducive environment, studio tasks and projects. These are the basic things. I will just run through some slides. One is, see, this was a competition for a Sony. I put arbitrarily a constraint. They should take one letter form and convert it into a telephone. A girl took Om, which became a telephone of unusual shape, but it also gave a functional advantage. See, this is something, aesthetics is not something, it can lead us to something new, very different. It can have all the functional advantages too. So this is a Tamil letter O. When the student took, this got a Sony award, and he put it in the neck, which is in a very different as an ornament. But for the complex shape of the letter, it was very difficult to think of. Okay. Yeah. Then there are questions we frame to the students. Flower in a square. These kind of things are done in basic design, where individual experiences and learnings are brought into a common platform to learn a visual language. Because we give a lot of importance to individual learnings in design. So the same problem which is posed, a flower, has many dimensions of looking at it, and with some constraints they could produce variety of solutions. I think then it also becomes a common platform as a language. I think this is an important thing in design. Then use of generative metaphors brings out personal perceptions of beauty in the shapes of, I have given one task of perfume bottles. We ask them to use metaphors, and people use different things, What is beautiful? A dewdrop is beautiful. This is a clove is a beautiful thing. This was a vortex done by Professor Chakravarti when he was student. And then there is the lavang, the parijat flower, then there is the swan. All of them, what people see as beauty, they converted it to bottle with these constraints and with these materials. I think this is where we have specialized in training, and this need to go into design programs to develop an aesthetic mind in each specialized field, because each field you need to develop. A drug design, what we saw in the morning, maybe there could be new access and new ways of looking at. I'm sure three-dimensional geometry, I've been hearing from my friends, chemists, three-dimensional geometry modeling is never taught in the undergraduate or this thing. So they have a great drawback in making three-dimensional models. In fact, Pauling, when he break through the double helix, his main advantage was he brought in a three-dimensional model for that. I think we need to develop in all these areas, and that's the task. Thank you.